After a 2018 redesign that saw Chevy attempt to make the Equinox competitive with some of the more nimble entrants in the class, 2019 sees it gain some added clarity in the form of HD surround and rear view cameras. It's an important upgrade for a vehicle that isn't exactly easy to see out of, but still the Equinox is missing a few things that would be necessary to make it anything other than an also-ran in the category. Regardless, Chevy does have some strategies to make sure that the Equinox isn't overlooked in a very crowded field, and first amongst those is price. Chevy is willing to tell anyone who will listen that the base price for the Equinox is just $23,800, but what you're less likely to hear is that the L trim you get for that money isn't really available on dealer lots. It's special order only. And more than that, it doesn't come with a spare tire or a compass or any paint option other than white and silver. So what this means is that the LS is effectively the base trim for this model. And for the $2,100 extra that you're going to spend to get there, all you're getting back is that spare tire and that compass and some extra paint options and the ability to add some extra features. But not all the features. Actually, pretty much just a power driver's seat, tinted rear windows, and some cosmetics, but most frustratingly, not the safety features. In this class and category, you can get into a RAV4 or a Forester, both of which have standard advanced safety features that outclass even the optional safety features that aren't available here until you get into the top tier premier trim. What that means is that if safety is your concern, if that's one of your priorities, your effective base price for the Equinox is not $23,800. It's not even close. It's actually $33 grand. But say you're not bothered by not having access to those features. This LT comes with all-wheel drive and the 2-liter turbo with the 9-speed transmission for $31,400. Add in the sunroof and the 8-inch touchscreen with the upgraded Chevy MyLink system and navigation, plus the confidence and convenience package for leather, heated seats, dual-zone auto climate control, and lane change alert with rear cross-traffic and rear park assist, and you've already passed $35 grand. Move up to the Premier with the 2-liter and all-wheel drive, and a few options can see you landing in the mid-40s, which is nearly twice the base price. This LT trim is also the first access point for this engine and transmission combo. Lower trims have to deal with the 1.5-liter with the 6-speed or the 1.6-liter turbo diesel, although I'd avoid that option altogether. If you choose it, you're giving up nearly all the towing capacity, and plus, I just didn't find that the efficiency matched the claim. Certainly not enough to make up for the $2,500 premium you're going to pay for the privilege. The 1.5-liter is peppy, but it's just a little underpowered for the Equinox's weight, especially when you fill up all those seats and, I don't know, maybe toss something into the back too. Now the 2.0, that handles things just fine. It's got 252 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque, and those are numbers that would have been impressive in a V6 or even a few V8s just a few years ago. The issue here is the transmission. Personally, I just think 9 speeds is too many for a little engine like this, and the effect becomes clear at lower speeds where the transmission just hunts around looking for the right gear, which does not make for very smooth driving. A heavier foot will mitigate a lot of it, but in stop-and-go traffic it can just get really frustrating, and that's a shame because this cabin isn't a bad place to spend some time. There are the usual GM sore spots of some cheap materials and some fitment issues, but the design is really nice, and I really love the cloth on these seats. Things are a little bit more cramped in here after last year's redesign, but there's still plenty of head and leg room, either in the front or the back for my lanky frame, and storage starts at just under 30 and expands to 63.5 when you fold those rear seats flat. MyLink infotainment is still a satisfying system, though not the most responsive on the market. And with standard Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, you get the familiarity of your own phone right up on the screen. It's a nice screen too, though, like I said, the response on the inputs, like for the pinch and zoom on the navigation, is a bit too much for my liking, but it's the new HD cameras that you should really be paying attention to. This was a pretty big sore spot with the old Equinox, so bravo to Chevy for the fix. And even without that standard safety, the Equinox still does quite well in both government and independent testing, and it scored top marks in both sets of tests. The headlights do hold it back a little bit, with both the halogens of the lower trims and even the HIDs of the upper trims receiving only a marginal rating for the Insurance Institute from Highway Safety, but otherwise things are well sorted. I still have trouble stomaching the fact that something as simple as blind spot monitoring isn't standard until the top tier Premier trim, is optional here on the LT, and isn't even available otherwise. And the fact that the advanced safety systems, you can only have them with an expensive package and only if you get one of the top 2 trims, that's a crime. As it stands, the Equinox is still just playing catch up. Options like the Escape and the CX-5, they drive better, while the RAV4 and the Forester offer more attractive and affordable suite of safety features. So while the Equinox is actually quite good, it's just that the competition is much better. Hey, thanks for watching. For full details on the 2019 Chevrolet Equinox, just click the link in the description. You can head over to CarGurus.com and read my full review. And for videos of some of that competition I mentioned, just subscribe to the channel.